Turntide Technologies is investing in North East England with the acquisition of Hyperdrive Innovation in Sunderland and Borg-Warner Gateshead. The investments will extend its smart motor technology into the transportation sector. Turntide Transport will support electrification and reduce energy usage in the sector. Joining me from the US is CEO and Chairman Ryan Morris. Ryan, for a UK audience, tell us a little bit about Turntide. Tell us about its mission.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. So Turntide recognizes that half of the electricity in the entire world is consumed by electric motors. And half of that energy today, over $1 trillion a year of electricity, gets wasted because we're using legacy designs that generally were invented over 100 years ago. So our overall mission is to upgrade all the motors in the world to optimal motor systems so that every watt can be worthwhile for humanity. And certainly something as we get into the transport sector, which is really about converting fossil fuel into electrification. I'll say, at least for me personally, as a lover of nature, the ability to not have fumes as vehicles drive past you, on the road or in nature is certainly a big motivating factor. So we can turn the tide on climate change and enjoy it in the process. What we found so far is our initial market has been in upgrading particularly the air conditioning, the HVAC systems in buildings and in agriculture. And if we could just upgrade all the systems just in the US, it would be the equivalent of an entire Amazon rainforest of carbon capture. So these are very large, long scale, long timeline missions. And this transport initiative that we've accelerated here is a huge step forward in that.
Why are your unique motors so efficient? What have you done to make the marginal gains required to make them efficient?
The most predictable thing in human development is really these exponential price performance improvements of information technology. The reason why your phone today is, 1,000 times more storage than the one that was 15 years ago. And what we really have is software defined hardware, a smart motor system where the mechanical aspects are quite simple. So we don't use any rare earth magnets or other, very environmentally destructive materials. But there's an incredible amount of intelligence and computing power that's needed to design and operate these motors. So that's what enables us to bring this efficiency and intelligence into whatever system that we're part of, whether that's in a building or now, accelerating into transport.
Now, you've acquired these two firms in North East England. What do they do to help your future planning for Turntide?
If you want to convert a system today, so a vehicle of some kind that moves today using petrol or fossil fuels, you need three basic ingredients. So you need an energy storage. So that's the chemistry that's in a battery, typically lithium-ion battery. You need the power conversion or power electronics, inverter. And then you need an electric motor, electric machine. And so we have really deep expertise and IP around the electric machines. What we get with these acquisitions is to piece together the whole system so that we can be a one-stop solution that helps the customers get to electrification goals much more rapidly than they'd be able to otherwise. So Hyperdrive is a real world leader in making modular lithium-ion battery packs. So it scales from like a relatively small e-commerce robot all the way up to a train with multiple modules. The Borg-Warner team is world class at making these power conversion, these inverters, and this is not stuff to mess around with. You got a box the size of a shoebox that has as much power as a whole apartment building going through it. So there's some real deep expertise and reliability demanded for these types of applications that we now have some of the best people in the world doing this, which are in the Northeast.
You've got some great passion for this technology and what it brings to the world, but that passion is shared by some quite interesting investors. They seem to realise that new technology can help save the planet. Tell us about some of the interesting investors you have.
This has been really a lifelong passion for me. I personally learned about nuclear fusion, I think, when I was 11 from a documentary. And it's really exciting that now this is becoming mainstream, that the technologies have got to the point of maturity and scalability. And some of the literally biggest investors in the world, the highest profile people, we've got Bill Gates, Breakthrough Energy Ventures, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, personally, advocating for this, and an investor of ours. We actually have Iron Man, so Robert Downey Jr., for those who love the Marvel universe like I do. So we've got really a world-class coalition to help turn the tide on climate change that's supporting us in our mission. and that's going to allow us to invest 100 million pounds in the region where it's, there's quite deserving talent of that.
Well, with that level of investment, that kind of investor, and your passion, skills and expertise, you're definitely welcome to North East England. Thank you very much for talking to us, Ryan Morris.
Yeah, I'm happy to be there, and I'll be there as soon as the borders open again.
Joining me in the studio now is Matt Boyle, who's the MD of Turntide Transport, the UK company. Matt, you've got a strong background in electrification. How enthused are you by Turntide's move into transport and the UK supply chain?
The North East is, and always has been, for over a century now, at the forefront of electrification and electric drive technologies. Bringing Turntide Technologies here to the North East is enormously exciting because it marries two world-leading capabilities and technologies to help save the planet.
You've been involved in something called Driving the Electric Revolution. Tell us about that and how the investments by Turntide Transport fit in with it.
Driving the Electric Revolution is a UK government-funded programme to build supply chains for power electronics machines and drives in the UK. Those power electronics machines and drives are the underpinning technologies required by Turntide and these acquisitions to provide solutions for zero-emission vehicles.
Okay, so you mentioned PEMD there. That's a phrase becoming more common in the industry. What does it refer to, and what applications are likely to adopt the technology developed for the transport industry?
So think of applications that today are driven by internal combustion engines. Power electronics machines and drives allow you to electrify those applications. So the underpinning technologies of Turntide and these two acquisitions are power electronics machines and drives. Those solutions that we are now developing require power electronics machines and drives, which are developed here in the UK.
Those applications sound like they're motor vehicles, cars, but we've got electric cars. Is it going further than electric cars?
Absolutely. Think about aircraft, think about construction equipment, think about marine applications. All of these today are driven by internal combustion engines. We are looking to electrify those to reduce their emissions to zero.
You are also a professor at Newcastle University, specialising in this technology. How does it make you feel to have this deal happen in the northeast of England? Is it part of your life's work?
I am thrilled. I've been working on this for a very long time. The capability here in the northeast is second to none, has been for over 100 years. Bringing Turntide Technologies to the region is enormously important, not only for the region and for the nation, but for the planet as well. Capability here is world leading. Capability we're bringing here is world leading. That marriage of the two will help save the planet.